bullshit ass basketball that Brooklyn been playing.
That shit hurt, man. Like I said, I'm hurt. Like these my boy, like this my squad or some shit. Dog. That shit's painful, dog. Yeah. And it's funny because I hate like it's 12 motherfuckers on the team, bro. Like you can at least go 9, 10 deep. You ain't going. They pull Blake Griffin out, and I'm thinking like, first of all, where he been at? And then you think about the fact if Ben could have played Monday, why he not playing till Tuesday?
Ben should have had his ass out there guarding Tatum at least.
Yes. Battle of the light skins.
Just be in his way. You tall. He not fired up because this nigga be shooting over everybody.
All the shots are difficult.
Yes.
Like everyone.
Like that's difficulty rated gotta be like an 86.
I think that's what kept me from making him or thinking that he was a superstar. Like, yeah, but he gotta work so hard for every fucking shot. But he just
is he working hard? Or is he firing them hoes up? Anyway,
that's his game.
Fading on everybody.
Like I would do this reverse. You might be able to get there. I don't know.
I do this shit in the gym. So if you're here when I do it, we'll see. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been working on it, so I'm gonna do it. That's what it look like.
You see them just falling like
anyway. I've been
working. He made that shit, but like this last game 3, the first one in Brooklyn. Yeah. KD looked. I mean, he looked great. And it's funny because in game 1 and 2, it was like Tatum just playing a good D on him. But in game 3, he looked like I didn't know if he's shaking points.
Used to this.
What's that? Tatum. They don't him like that.
He one of them chips with other motherfuckers out there catching and shooting, and you just out there on the wing. I mean, he did his thing, yes. He did his thing. But you had way more. Now it's the weight on him. You know what I'm saying? He ain't went to OKC because the weight on him. You know what I'm saying? The weight was on Steph, really.
Yeah.
I mean, he took over.
Yeah, of course.
But a lot of the focus was on Steph and Clay. You know what I'm saying? Right now, the focus is primarily on you. And maybe just he ain't the same from the Achilles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we definitely not saying that because we saw him last year. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it was understandable last year because you're basically by yourself.
Yeah, right.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know. And it's funny because with this show, I'm learning to, when you want to say something, stop and listen to what's going on. But then I always forget what the fuck I was going to say. God, I'm not going to say it. I'm trying to remember. As soon as I said I'm trying to remember, I forgot. Like, what the fuck?
So I didn't remember that.
So, I didn't even hear what you were saying because I'm like, I woke up. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to listen to him. But I don't want to forget it. Now I'm trying to remember it the whole time.
So you stop listening. I keep trying to tell you.
Twice, though.
I keep trying to tell you. That's what happens, man. That's why I just wait till you finish it. I think then.
Yeah, that's smarter. But it's like when somebody says something that make you think of something. I forgot what my point about KD was. It was. I don't know what the fuck it was, man. But it's definitely tough watching this shit. Because at first I thought he was shaving points.
I think the league is moving to these young guys. You know what I'm saying?
KD. That's what the fuck it was. Y'all buddies. Yeah. Y'all work out together.
What you talking about?
KD and Tatum. Yeah. He know your game more than you know his.
More than you been paying attention to his, apparently.
Yep. Because you see they was talking on.
Or he paid enough attention to say, one of y'all gotta guard this nigga. Yeah. Ain't gonna be me.
But you see when he had
that shit in the gym though.
Yeah. But when he got the foul like this, you see that he was talking inside and he kept talking about, how they work on in the offseason. That's what it is right there, bro. Like I appreciate the competitiveness of
that's why I'm trying to tell you about the second quarter.
That's true.
These niggas be out there already knowing everything we think.
Yeah. You know but it's still like we've always lived by that though. Like we've always we've always like Mo running slant. All right, cool. I'm not worried about this defender.
I'm the only one that throw you that motherfucker. I'm sorry, but the rest of these niggas.
But it was still the whole logic of look at you know it don't mean you're gonna stop it. You see what I'm saying? Like,
but don't
yeah, I know, man. What we was talking about? Basketball? Your Sunday losses hurt, bro.
What's that?
Some kind of a G warning. You participate in those? I need to get it
in what?
McAfee, Norton, all them type shit that pop up or whatever, type protection or whatever.
No. Because it sounds like you trying to get me to buy your virus. Your shit gonna slow all my shit down. You gonna be trying, motherfucker. I did that shit one time on an old computer. You know what I'm saying? One of them desktop ones.
Just like the medical stuff.
And it just seemed like they kept popping up talking about something black. You doing we wasting all this time blocking pop-ups or whatever the fuck's going on. And everything else slow down. I mean, that shit just be in the way.
So it's just like Big Pharma.
And they hope you know what I'm saying? Every good drug dealer know. I make you think it's a placebo. I make you think it's a virus. You need my medicine. Okay? You need some shit like now you need this medicine, don't you?
Now you need it.
You don't even got no virus. Ain't no virus in the air. You need this shit. I got you. That's how you do it. Blue tops. Got the blue. I need my story to be lit. I need my story to make sense.
Even if I ain't a story, I just need to talk about.
I just need it to make sense though.
They say Wayne ruined that. They say Wayne ruined consistent.
It's a bunch of generic shit.
Yeah, I mean your verse being consistent about something.
It's about something.
Like he'll
he all over the place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I didn't even say ruin it, but they said that's the last. That's when it changed. Yeah. And it's funny because him, Drake, and Nicki damn near had the same style. Yeah. Real shit.
Nicki sound like she just rapping from. She crazy is what she rap like.
Nicki can go. Nicki can go though. That's what pissed me off with all them singles. Like Nicki can rhyme, bro.
Yeah, she can rhyme.
That whole convo of the I don't know why I'm going in this rabbit hole. The whole women support shit and women putting stuff out and why that shit never blows type shit. But it's in a male dominated field. So does that factor in?
Nah, cause
music is music.
Yeah, and then you know what I'm saying. Women kind of dominate rap too. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you gotta be actually like Queen was dominating in her time. You know what I'm saying? Kim was dominating her time.
But no, I'm saying for the fact that I'm coming from the fact that there's quality out here. I never understand why it's not supported. And I'm thinking about it more about with the whole WNBA shit. Like that's a very quality product. Yeah. It just never seems to get supported. You know what I mean? And
it's not as entertaining. You know, fuckers like drama and beef. Dudes keep a lot of rap beef with them, I guess. You don't get too much drama from chicks on the mic.
Man, I don't think niggas. Because I'm thinking from my ears though.
And then as a dude, you don't kind of want to listen to the type. I mean, you know, like with shit like Lil Kim and Nicki rap about.
Yeah, and that always. It's funny because that always becomes the convo. And it's like, but you'll listen to a nigga do that. I'd be like,
but that's from a man's perspective.
But at the same time, like, but I wouldn't. Like, I wasn't a Too Short fan. Like, it's to the point where.
You mean like Uncle Luke Too Short?
No, I wasn't a fan of. So it's to the point where I have rappers that I like that will say some derogatory shit.
Right.
And so the woman come back in. You listen to niggas that say that shit. But I'm like, but the woman that you're talking about that raps like that, I compare it to how Too Short rap.
Right.
So the whole subject, the whole song is about that compared to a nigga that suck my dick this time. You know what I mean? Compared to like just the whole song, the whole album.
You gonna suck my dick.
You know what I mean?
Every time my ass.
So a lot of times the woman that was pushed as the top girl out there, that's what her content is about. Yeah. And it's like, why is that?
Because sex sells. And if you thinking and you preaching it and you giving clear thoughts to motherfuckers, you teaching in your rap, they don't want to hear that.
But what was the day?
They want the ratchetness. What was the day? You want me to say like the Jewish guys just trying to keep everybody down?
No, but that's my whole point though. Like we always talk about
rap been sold out. You know that. This shit sold out.
Yeah, I know, but every field we got, anything we dominate in, anything we evolve,
get sold out.
Yeah, so it's like, why do
we just go on to the next thing? See what I'm saying?
Well, we get bought out of this? Like, well, okay.
Yeah, everything that we create gets gentrified.
Modified.
You know what I'm saying? Gentrified, modified, now it's, you know what I'm saying? It's for everybody now. You know what I'm saying? So that's,
but that's our nature though.
Yeah.
That's our nature.
As creators, as God's people. You know what I'm saying? You create, you give this gift, you know what I'm saying? It's like a butterfly. You know what I'm saying?
But the argument is like, but we're not getting nothing. Or we're not getting the proper.
Not everybody, but the people, you know what I'm saying, who got their hands on, like Swiss and Tim, they got something on it. You know what I'm saying? But look what verses is really, you know what I'm saying? When's the last time you heard of a quality verse? Because they sold that shit. You know what I'm saying? And these motherfuckers were trying to sell subscriptions to this shit. You see what I'm saying?
And that's crazy because it's like, that's not us taking anything away from gospel music or this, that, and the third. But the way it got hot was with these MCs going at it.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Right. And a random R&B junk in there somewhere, but it's all about these hip hop dudes. Yeah. And yeah, you're right. You just made it too. You made it too commercial. Like, you made it too commercial. Like the way it was going was cool.
Yeah.
The way it went naturally was cool.
Then even when they put each other on Valentine's Day when you got paid.
Yeah. Even when they put people in the same room.
Yeah.
Like that amplified another level. They're like, yo, this shit, we gotta figure out something. Like, instead of just letting it naturally do what it's been doing.
And then you can't tell me they wasn't getting paid.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
pure endorsements alone, it was get all the fucking Ciroc and all
yeah.
that shit that they had all over the place. Like they could have rolled with that, but nah. I mean, like I said, everybody want to get theirs, so that's what you did. You got yours.
Big bag ain't always working.
I mean, shit. To who though? Because who would say they could have kept versus going? You know what I'm saying?
It never got as big as.
Yeah, it probably was as big as it was ever gonna get. They cash out then, and you sold it off to these Caucasians, and you know what I mean? Look what they doing with it.
Yeah, so yeah.
So they
it's
that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to create something, sell that shit off, and start something different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what I was about to say. It's a circle. Yeah.
That's what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying?
And some people gonna get left.
You know what I'm saying? And it just so happens as a black community, it's usually us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So we got to point the finger.
We gotta create something that we can cash in on.
But you said we do. We just be a small portion of us doing it every single time.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Me and you, nigga. Fuck it, nigga. I need to cash in and get the fuck out the game. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying that damn, nigga. I'm talking on a micro level. I ain't thinking about all these niggas. I already gave up on trying to fix every man. You can't fix all these niggas.
Yeah.
You can't. You just can't.
Yeah.
The ignorance is like the dark force in Star Wars. That shit is everywhere. It's more prevalent, and you gotta fight against that shit. It's harder to, you know what I'm saying, to let the good out. You know what I'm saying? You gotta fight against the ignorance, bro. The ignorance is the force. You know what I'm saying? Star Wars is about niggas.
Never heard that thing.
All the Jedis and shit, they black people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But all them niggas, they let the bad force get into them. You know what I'm saying? The dark side. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas.
Shit.
The more you let the dark energy in, the more nigga you become.
But shit, that's the perfect way to get on about this motherfucker. I was about to say Rhyme Book. I am Rhyme Book.
Smoking deuces.
This is Now Talking About.
You know what I'm saying? Now talking about?
And you know the 5 things to do.
Like, share, comment, subscribe, follow.
But don't be a follower.
Follow the movement. You know what I'm saying? Because we're going to figure this shit out.
Yep. Me and this nigga going to figure this shit out. Yeah. We out.
Peace, fam. This is your brother Maul. The other Maul. Doing a little something different today, man. We've been having a lot of conversations behind the scenes, on the phone, before the episode. So we wanted to drop off pieces of these conversations, some nice convo, insightful, just a good dialogue, man. So for this one, I've been thinking about this topic a lot, probably since like 2018, for the past 4 years or so, man. And I posed a question to my good brothers of, do we really care if black people exist, right? And I know it can sound like a goofy question, but it's like sometimes when I look online and see people acting like they care that black people exist, or we love black people, or all of this stuff, but I see their politics, their personal politics, I see some of the stuff that they support, and I'm like, this is a direct contradiction to black existence. I don't see how we support this, encourage this, say this is okay, don't want to judge it, all kinds of things, you know? And it came from some conversations that I've been having over the past 4 years, and it's a topic that kind of has come back up in my life. I guess I kind of go through these cycles, right? So I just wanted to bring that question up, you know, because black existence is political, man. This isn't a poem. This isn't just the feel goods, right? Black existence is a political thing, you know. I'm talking about the black race to exist. I'm talking about black survival, and it sounds like a given. It sounds like everybody will be like, well, yeah, of course I want them to exist. Really? When I examine a lot of people's personal politics, cultural politics, social politics, financial politics, and their views on it, there's a big difference in what people say and what we want, and how we act, or some of the things that we support. And I will say this: it's not even like it's a bad thing if you don't care that black people exist. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's like, if people aren't beholden to this goal of, oh, I want to make sure black people exist in the future a certain way, or I want to make sure, or I want them to survive, or I want them to exist in a certain way, you know? A lot of, like, I'm not even saying like that's a bad thing if that's not your personal politics. You know, you could be a person who's post-racial, modern, progressive, or whatever, and you're not beholden to certain racial topics or ideologies. You know, like, I get it. You know, you could be like, I'm just trying to live my life and do the best that I can and love who I love, and I don't want to judge, whatever it is. Like, but black existence is political, man. And I think a lot of people feel like they're supposed to say that they care about all of these big black political things when they really don't. And I think we're at the point where we should really just kind of be honest about where we are. It would just, I don't know, I think it would make things easier, more focused. Anyway, I posed this question to the good brother from Nam Tamo, and this is a piece of that conversation. Peace.
My thing I sent to you was just a question of kind of like I know this may sound a certain way, of like, just if it's like, if blackness matters, then why, and what does that mean for you / like us, you know? Because
If blackness matters.
everything that I've been talking about,
If blackness matters. So we're answering.
yeah,
Okay.
honestly, because it's like, if we really aren't, like, if we don't really have like a code or like a culture kind of thing, if we don't really have like a top 10 principles we're moving towards, if we don't agree on methods of empowerment or enlightenment in some kind of way, and we're already all just kind of like these disparate, separate groups, you know,
Mm-hmm.
who all function differently, who all have different ideologies and stuff like that. And then when you just talk about the breakdown racially, you know, like, blackness, as far as like Black American, specifically, it's like everybody can be a part of it, you know? And this sister, Brenda, some years ago, she was like, either blackness means, like, she said something like, either blackness means something or it means nothing. So it's like, when you make, oh, everybody can be a part of it, or everybody's invited to the cookout and stuff, when you open it up, then you diminish its meaning, you know? And if we're at this point where we're like post-racial, where it's like, we don't care about ethnic makeup or color makeup or like interracial relationships and all of this stuff, and everything is just cool. And so that has a deeper implication on the future of what blackness looks like, just racially and statistically. You know, like, what if the numbers are like 13% black in America, right? But then what if you take out biracial and multiracial people? You might have like 7%. Show like that, you know, 8%, 9%. You might be sub 10%. You dig? And when you look at the stats, they show that these numbers are only increasing, like, exponentially moving forward, right? So you may be in a situation in the next 2-3 decades where monoracial, meaning just black people, you know, actual, like, not biracial, not multiracial, not my grandfather is black, not I'm dark enough to get pulled over in the white neighborhood black, none of that stuff. You might be in a situation where you're like 5%. You know what I'm saying? And when I look at these kind of like social media trends, or like the smart Negroes and their talking and all of this stuff, it's kind of like blackness is like up for grab. So it makes, which means that in the vision or mission of some kind of unity empowerment, all that more difficult and all that more confusing, you know? And unfortunately, it forces you to be kind of individualistic, where you're like, well, I gotta focus on me and mine, then, or I just gotta focus on like-minded people, you know? Now, what that actually does is it'll give you somewhere to focus and keep your heart intact and maybe be more effective, but at the end of the day, we're weak and as a people. But if we don't care about this quote-unquote us as a people kind of thing, then it's like, I think some of us, maybe not everybody, but it's something that I've been thinking about a lot, need to like wrestle with this question internally and really have an answer for it, because until we really know in our hearts what we're trying to do, else is going to be kind of like aimless, you know? It'll be like, yeah, I'm trying to do X, Y, and Z and our people or whatever, but when you really break it down, a lot of these folks, they don't really care about our people or a future or a racial glory kind of or anything like that, you know?
I feel like, all right, so I be thinking to myself sometimes, I don't want to give up on our people, but I feel like niggas is so,
Yeah, but
like you say, we need to find a code. What if the code that we go by is the same slave code that niggas went by? Keep your head down, follow the North Star, find freedom, come back and buy us. That's the same code niggas is going by today. As you know what I'm saying, in 2020, that's nigga code. You know what I'm saying? It's the same code that's been beaten into us for 400 years. It's the same code niggas is going on. Keep your head down. You hear the dogs running, you keep running. You get tired, you keep running. You see the sun coming up, you keep running. You just keep running. You know what I'm saying? When you find freedom, come back and buy us. That's what niggas is doing. You know what I'm saying? So we've been doing what we've been programmed to do. You know what I'm saying?
But
and it's harder. 400 years of this shit, bro.
But this is weird. What if that is the code, but too many of us is fighting the code, and that's why we're not getting what we're supposed to be getting? Because it sounds stupid, but you just kept saying, and come back and buy us. So if you keep your fucking head down and do what needs to get done, reach the level where you can help people and go back and help who you can, your number will increase instead of worrying about the people who can't do it and waste your time.
Exactly.
Like, what if that is
That's
actually
why I said I don't want to give up on niggas, but at the same time, you can only help the people you can help. You can't help everybody because there's way too many hopping bobs. You know what I'm saying? There's way too many motherfuckers that have that Stockholm syndrome that are enthralled with their captor. You know what I'm saying? We love Whitey. Whitey takes care of me. Whitey giving me government assistant. Got it. Whitey giving me motherfucking free eggs, cheese, and milk. You see what I'm saying? Whitey gonna keep me fed. Whitey gonna keep me fat. He give me all his pork shavings. He give me all that. You know what I'm saying? Ignorance is bliss. Let these niggas be happy. These niggas is happy with that. You know what I'm saying?
Goddamn, bro.
I said, bro,
that shit is real.
We honestly fucked. Yeah.
That's the thing. But you see, when you look at it like that, like, which is the reality of the matter, what does that say about blackness as a whole? That means is going to fall apart and kind of die on like a larger level. The only thing you'll be able to do is try to run back and free the people who want to be freed, right? But the thing is that your numbers are going to be so low that in the global scale, you're going to get swallowed. In the most that we're going to be, like, black people right now, this is kind of what we're doing. We're doing like a 300. You dig? It's like we are just trying to touch on the like-minded people who really want some kind of empowerment. Our numbers are only going to be 300. We're going to stand a fighting chance, but at some point, like that Persian army or whatever is going to. Well, I mean, the 300 was sold out by the little humpback dude, but numbers wise, it's like.
But there's always a nigga that'll do that. There's always a hopping bomb.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. But it's like we're going to be 300. We're going to be 300 fighting smart, using strategy. But when the global shit like China Chinese powers and European powers and Lebanese powers in Africa and Indian powers in Africa and other cultures just come like at some point we're gonna like die on our shields almost. And I know I'm being extreme, but it's like
I don't.
When you don't, it's a certain acceptance I'm having of just where our reality is because unfortunately I can't think on like a global large scale. I really have to think like-minded only, you know? And when you're already outnumbered, to make your numbers even lower, you might be a little more concentrated and stronger, but in the grand scheme of things, it's going to be a numbers game, you dig?
But like with the 300, it's like, I don't know, my mind was going everywhere. With 300, it's like, yo, we're going to do everything that we fucking can do, and they just go write our name in history. Like, life is what the fuck it is, dog. Either you make your mark or you don't. You do your fucking part, though. Like, you just do your part. Like, I really think we get wrapped up in making life about us instead of doing your part while you're here. Or picking a side. You want to do your part while you're here, you want to fucking live life. Don't give a fuck about the other side, though, nigga. I don't want to hear your mouth.
The greatest trick, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing people that there was no devil. The greatest trick that these motherfuckers have ever done was convince us that they are the majority.
Right.
That
I was just talking about that.
There are black people on every continent. You know what I'm saying? That's what I, you know what I'm saying? That's why I kind of disagreed because I was like, one thing that can never be overlooked or erased is blackness. You know what I'm saying? That shit is beautiful. That shit is, you know what I'm saying? That shit is so powerful that it's undeniable. You know what I'm saying? You can't overpower blackness. You can't erase blackness. Even if it's diluted the gene pool by the race mixing and all that shit.
Their whole existence is about erasing us.
Yeah. No, their whole existence is about existence. You know what I'm saying? It ain't got nothing to do with us. It's their existence. And our ability to erase that. That's what I said. Okay. That's their hatred towards us ain't got shit to do with us. It's their fragility. You know what I'm saying? It's the ability for them to be erased. That's why I said blackness is always going to be around. Because like I said, if you look at milk, you put a couple drops of chocolate in milk, it's now chocolate milk. It's not regular milk no more.
It's delicious.
You know what I'm saying? It's even better. It tastes even better with them couple drops of chocolate. It may not be the darkest chocolate, too rich and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't that, but it's still chocolate milk. You can't deny that chocolate milk no more. You know what I'm saying? That's something you can't do.
In the middle of 2020, Rhyme Book, dropped Black. Between George Floyd and protests, cop killings and painted avenues, I call my brother to lend me his poetic thoughts. Amidst Uncle Ben's and Kearns and riots, I got bars from Deuce Shizzle, Knowledge Bone, Beasley Belafonte, and more to help create Black, 6 tracks that I hope one day won't fit the times. Available wherever music is. Support your own.
And then we're going to wake up 50 years from now, and then we're going to be like, oh, black people in America are 5% of the population. And then we're going to look and be like, how did that happen? You know?
Yeah.
It's happening right now.
White women learn how to shut the
fuck
up.
Say what?
Right.
White women learn
how to do some stuff.
And I remember I was talking about this online, and this sister was kind of like, you gotta act like, she said something, but it fucked me up, but it was a real point, because I was talking about these kind of things, and my whole thing is that I want us to exist, you know? I want us to exist. And I don't mean on some global, like, kind of like we're everywhere kind of thing. Like, I want us to exist in a thriving fashion, you know? I don't want it to go where when you look at black and African people globally, they're always in some like second class, subjugated class, right? Service class, something like that. If you look at most of the people in Africa, they're getting bought out by Asia and Europe, you know? And they're still in some service, second class citizenship, colonized, even especially the leaders in their own quote unquote country. You know, you got black leaders, but they're selling all of their land to fucking China. Like, that's not really the population I'm I'm looking at, you know? And so I look at it like I want us to exist, one, and I want us to exist in a real way, you know, meaning thriving, strong, empowered, something, you know? So that's where all of my kind of stuff comes. Like when I used to go hard about interracial stuff, and I know it sounds funny coming from me, but I go, if I want to see black people in the future, then how do you create a black person? You know, what's the recipe for a black person? You get a black mama and you get a black daddy. You don't get a multiracial or multi-ethnic, he's 1/3, and then you get a mama that's a quarter black or she's half black, and you get, that doesn't work like that, bro. You know, if you take a glass of milk with a little bit of chocolate syrup in it, and then you take a light ass chocolate milk and you mix that together, it's going to be gone at some point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, drink a little bit, pour it into another glass of white milk. Yeah, you'll eventually work it out.
Because that's what we're doing. Because look, where the trend is going that way. Mm-hmm. You see more and more interracial stuff when you just look at just pop culture, man. Socially, trending online.
Commercial. Commercial.
Shit, even Serena Williams lighting in her skin.
That's real.
Dude, it's like either on some like cool self-loathing kind of stuff. Some people think they're super post-racial, and it's like, oh, I don't care about this race stuff. But when you look at their partner, it's like a non-black partner, and I just go, you're not really beyond race. You just kind of don't partner. Like, you needed to say that, and that's where I get to this point where it's like, does it matter or does it not? You know, and I think when people really investigate their belief systems, it doesn't matter anymore to a lot of folks, you know?
I agree with that.
And then people that say that it does matter, if we say that it does, then we got to investigate our beliefs and then investigate our actions. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
And it's like, so what do we promote? What are we cool with? You know? Mm-hmm. I can't say I'm for. It's like the whole pro-black conversation. I don't like. I look at pro-black as like being really. It's a real political thing. It's not just some like whatever kind of shit, you know. And I think I've heard conversations online about pro-blackness and can you be with a non-black partner and be pro-black and all of that stuff. It's political. Like it's political, man. You know, it's not about love and it's not about feeling good. Old cultures, they understand the politics of bloodline and racial integrity and a nation in general. You know, it's political. It's warfare. It's a numbers game. It's an empowerment game. You know, and black people are the only ones that's cool with just like being a race. Yeah. And being a race racially, politically, financially, economically, fucking all of that, you know? We're not going to be raised as some entertainers and shit like that.
But that's what we've always been.
Up majority of it.
We've always been that in this country.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That is true.
It's fucked up to
because that's the point where it's like we got options now, and we're at the point where I know it's extreme, but it's kind of like a life or death situation because the way the world is going to move right now is so fast that if we don't make a move, we're going to get swept up, you know? Yeah. Like what happens 20 years from now if rent and mortgages and all of this shit is already in a crisis and falling apart? What happens 10 years from now to our community? If we already got stats talking about we got 1.6 trillion buying power, but we're the lowest home ownership, and we're the lowest economically in these certain ways. And when we look at our communities, we don't have some kind of national branded black-owned like Montessori school or clinic system or education, none of that stuff. So it's like we got a lot of money, I got a lot of social influence, but we do nothing with it. You know what I'm saying? And then the world is moving so fast that in 10 years, if shit is already hitting the fan right now, post-pandemic, during the pandemic and all of that stuff, then where are we going to be in 5-10 years from now? AI is coming. We don't talk about that enough. Technology, social media, all of this stuff, you know?
This is painful.
And then we're going to wake up. That's my whole thing is like, I see it now, and I could just see us waking up 10 years from now, like, what the fuck happened? You know, why didn't anybody do anything about this? Why didn't we, we're going to get
It's
into
funny, 10
that.
years ago, Obama was in office.
Huh?
I said 10 years ago, Obama was in office.
And shortly
Yeah.
after that, the whitest thing you get.
That was, and that, yeah,
I
man.
mean, yeah.
It's like, at the end of it, man, it's on us to figure out really what we want to do. I'm a big proponent on just knowing what we want and just deciding, like, because if somebody's thing is like, I don't care, like, it's like, pick your side. Like, if you don't care, then, like, say that. If you do care.
How do you do that, though?
Burn this bitch down.
Burn the fuck up. No, he was saying, he was saying he already seen no way that any of that shit could be done until we rebuild this shit. We can't do it in the system they built that's not designed for us. It's designed for only one race. Some other races have adapted better, but they know it's one real threat. So they make sure that they apply so much shit to keeping that one down. Like, it's so funny, dude. It's so funny that black men get so much flack for the fact that the gay shit is pushed so strong. But it's like you see so many gay couples in commercials before you see black couples in commercials. Like, we've been asking for that for years.
Gay black couples.
You'll get that though. You won't get a full black. And if you get a black couple, they got some biracial kids somehow. And you can tell it's biracial. Like, how you got an Asian child, my nigga? I mean, but I know how, but still, like, that ain't. You couldn't find a black child just to do this fucking commercial, bro.
My thing is, it's just like, my thing at the end of it, bro, it's like, it's on us, man. It's like, honestly, if we are black women magic and black boy magic and black boy, and we're excellent, and we're the original fucking architects and academics and scholars and all, if we are all of this, then I want us to tap into that shit and build something else. Not know all the trivia about it, not know all the facts about it, not just harp on that so much to where kind of like high school football career kind of days, you know? But like actually tap into it, you know? Like, if we have black billionaires and millionaires, then why don't we have some national chain of clinics or some kind of school system? We only have schools that we've heard about from like NBA entertainers over the past, freaking decade. It's like LeBron, Diddy, full charter schools. But it's like, when you start to do research and you go, well, how much does it cost to do a after school program? It's like, I'm kind of tired of seeing like a multimillionaire complain about the after school programs that got shut down in the hood. And it's like, well, you create one. When you start to research how much it costs, to these people, it doesn't cost that much. And if you do it right, you can do all kinds of tax loopholes and grant money for especially now with all of this diversity shit. If we took initiative and really like try to get a hold of some of this money that's out there, that's no strings attached or whatever, or even just do it on your own, but it can't be some like.
It's that part though. It's that part though. It's that part. Do it on your own. It's no. We're not gonna convince celebrities to do shit for the people that they are. Like it's no. They don't think they gain. The people that employ them know it's not good to have those people under them come up, or for them to be doing the same stuff. So it's on us. It's on us to do it instead of relying on them. You know what I mean? I think a lot of times we rely on the rich to do stuff because they have the resources. We say, with great will comes great money or whatever. Wealth comes great responsibility or whatever. But also that great wealth is sometimes knowledge. You have the knowledge and the drive to do that shit. Then you need to do the shit. You need to figure out a way to get that shit done. A lot of times we just rely on somebody else.
That's true. It is. My vision for empowerment is everybody. It's all hands on deck. You dig? So some people are grassroots activists, and they need to stay doing that because we need those people. Some people are all about voting and voting right. We got to keep some of those people. Some people are about diversity and inclusion stuff and representation. We got to keep some of them people too. But the reason why I talk about tapping into our wealth is because shit costs costs a lot of money, and sometimes it costs a lot of money right now, you know? And I look at it like this. You see people online trying to politics and the government to fix community issues. So I'm like, if you can have this energy to talk about white liberals online and talk about the politicians and where they spend their money and where they should, I feel like, what do you think you have a better chance of? Who do you think you have a better chance of kind of sharing into doing some work? White liberal politician that's been problematic our entire existence, right? Or a black multimillionaire? Like, of course you can't depend on it, but who do I think I have a better chance of swaying to my side?
A white man.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, the white man, to him, that's diversity. To him, that's a gain up.
Right.
He's showing that he's reaching
right,
out. For a black person, he's like, I've done this before. These niggas ain't gonna do it no more. Or we don't reach out to them. Or we not treat them like they're the celebrity that they are. They want all this dumb shit. We're making up excuses thinking that they want all this shit, so we don't reach out to them. It's a whole bunch of shit. While the white man's like, yeah, I'll do this and act like, and make them think again that I care. Like, I've done this before. It worked before. Like, there's always a white man in the hood shooting basketball and shit like that. There's always. Ain't nothing new.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's sad that's how we think, but
I would just say that we get a part of. I would say that is very true. I'm cool with trying to get it from everywhere. You dig? Like let's have some style with it, dude. If we're gonna con somebody out of a bag, let's go ahead and get it. You dig? But like Malcolm said a long time ago, whenever they are a part of our organization, one, they want to be the head of it, and they want to have control of it, and they want to dictate it. I mean, fucking Black Lives Matter is funded by a white dude. Black News Channel was funded by white people, and you see what happened with all of that shit. So it's like I'm all about some kind of strategy, you know? Just some kind of strategy. Just some kind of something. If you talk about racism, or you talk about sexism, or you talk about any kind of any part of the woke politics, quote unquote, that's been mixed into critical race theory. But critical race theory is a college level academic study that goes into detail about how racism is in law, in legal thing.
And like you said, it's not in. And to go against what Condoleezza said, like it doesn't have anything to do with actually what the white folks did back in the day. As far as it's more about the system that they made to make that shit continue to go on. But when it comes to making them feel bad because they did this to us, this to us, that has nothing to do. Well, again, that's just a whole other.
Cinderella.
What about it?
Does the shoe fit?
Does the shoe fit? That's fact. The shoe fit? Yeah.
Like I told my daughter, I forgot to tell you the story I was telling her. You know what I'm saying? I was like, it's not right. It's not fair. You know what I'm saying? But they're afraid, you know what I'm saying, of extinction. And then I gave her the milk analogy. You know what I'm saying? If you take a glass of milk, as white and pure as that milk is, put 2 drops of chocolate in it, it is no longer white milk. It has changed color. It may not be completely dark, you know what I'm saying? But it ain't milk. It ain't white milk no more. You put 2 drops of strawberry in it. It ain't white milk no more. You know what I'm saying? You put 2 drops of some fucking buttercream, whatever the fuck that is. It ain't gonna be as dark, but it's gonna change the tint of it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't pure white milk anymore. That's why they're afraid of us. Because they won't be pure. Extinction drives everyone to madness.
And it's sad because it shouldn't even matter. But they made this whole race thing a thing, and that's why it matters. Yeah. You feel me? Like, it shouldn't even matter because
one day we all return to one race.
All come from one. You lived here for a long time, so your body adapted to what's going on over here.
To your environment.
But y'all want to call it a race and make it a reason for y'all to be looked at as superior. So because y'all are the ones that look like this compared to everybody else. Yeah.
Everybody else is closest somewhere. Somebody, like, you go to Asia, there are dark Asians, there are light Asians. You go to, you know what I'm saying? Any other, them Indian motherfuckers.
Where the fuck is the Caucasus Mountain? I mean, that's been in Europe, I guess. That's the continent that's going, isn't it? Continent of Asia?
I mean, all that shit, I guess that comes from the time when you was,
Pangea?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's supposed to be.
I thought you was looking like, do what you gonna do, man. I ain't know, nigga.
Well, that start. You supposed to start that. Then the clap is how you sync them.
First of
But
all,
you want to both start it.
First of all, nigga, I don't know none of this stuff. I should know this stuff. That's the conversation. Should I? Yeah, I should, man. I don't.
You should.
We'll leave that right there just in case you want to pick it up and smoke. Just be in the fucking mood or what?
I mean, shit. Look, at this point, bro.
I was about to say,
6 people watch this motherfucker.
Chip. We too up, nigga.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 3, because I be logged in on the TV upstairs and my phone.
Well, if that's the case, niggas all 6 of us. Because nigga Southside did do it. Rhymebook got one. And
That's what I'm saying.
3 are watching. Shouldn't even
That's
know.
what I'm saying.
Her page.